This is Washington's elite social scene, Hollywood on the Potomac. Folks all a-glitter and wrapped in fur. A place where limos appear to be the national car. Now, if you're one of the happy few, you of course need to know all the proper social cues of the rich. And this woman can teach you. She's Sunny Adler, better known as Sunny. Sunny is the barometer on who's in and who's out of the Washington Social Register. She's the editor of Dossier magazine. Dossier magazine is unabashedly aimed at the well-heeled in Washington. Its readers earn more than $100,000 a year. They live in houses worth $250,000 at least. The magazine instructs the rich where to invest their money to live in proper style, what social functions are la creme de la creme, and what an educated palate should be eating. Of course, for those who don't eat properly, well, it's guaranteed all of Washington will know by month's end. Sunny mirrors Dossier's image. In the early 70s, she was a runway and promotional model. Before Dossier's conception, she was known in Washington party circles as a wonderful hostess. And who would know better than her son, publisher David Adler, who hired Sunny as his editor.
She is an incredible secret weapon, though. I mean, she is probably one of the most accessible people in town and can get to almost anybody, which is what is incredible. I mean, one of her main talents is being able to get to anybody to do almost anything for us, which is, I mean, she is the lobbyist. I mean, she would make more as a lobbyist than anything else in this town.
Thank you. I'm the editor of the Dossier magazine.
Sunny's schedule is similar to a lobbyist, nonstop. Not only does she cover Washington's party circuit, which means 3 to 4 parties a week, but she also oversees the layout of the magazine, hires new talent, and sees to it that photo sessions muster up to Dossier standards.
The black and white is simple, but the other one, it may photograph better. It's not as glamorous as it appears to be. I'm here at 9:30 in the morning. We work sometimes to 12 o'clock at night, or else if we have to go out at night, we leave here, I go rushing home, I'm out in 1 hour and stay out till 12. What do I get out of it? I get very tired. My husband gets very lonely. He complains, and I've got to keep thinking about decompartmentalizing my life, and I don't. Maybe we can just, I would love to do this for our next jewelry issue.
It's too late.
Sunny's hectic day also includes differences of opinion with her boss. Both have been known to go tooth and nail over creative decisions.
Actually,
Joe,
it's
less
not
important?
that, no, not anymore.
Well, that's the way the French are doing
well,
it.
Well, here, the least number of buttons that you don't have.
I found I would get myself just so angry because I was still the mother. I couldn't get myself away from, this is my kid, and he's telling me what I should do, and now I understand. Someone has to be the boss, and he is the boss.
We can yell and scream at each other, but 2 minutes later, it's all over, and she does it the way I want it done. But that's a little exaggeration. We both compromise at certain points. But we've developed a good team relationship.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President-elect of the United States and Mrs. Reagan.
It's the human side of power and influence that Sunny loves to convey to her readers, not just the fact that such and such a party is one of this month's choicest gatherings. And one of her favorite couples to cover is the Reagans.
When Reagan first came in, the whole world called me. Everybody, Entertainment Tonight, every newspaper in the country wanted to find out about how is Reagan doing? How is he entertaining? Is he out? What does she look like? What do you think of her fashion? I mean, they'd pull things like at the National, the Heart fashion show, Adolfo, her favorite designer, was there. And they wouldn't let him sit on the dais because it would show that she liked expensive things. And it's so foolish, because this is the kind of woman she is. She likes beautiful things, and she should be allowed to do it.
There's probably one person who wishes he took Mrs. Reagan's cue and stayed away from fancy clothes, not to mention Dossier magazine.
He was then HHS head, Health and Human Services, and she was having a big party, white tie, for the opening of the Georgetown Park. So I said, let's have Mrs. Schweiker, and with long white gloves, and let's have Mr. Schweiker, the secretary, in his white tie. We met at 7 o'clock a.m. With photographer down from New York, set the table up Victorian style, and it turned out to be a magnificent picture. Well, the day we came out, Reagan took the ketchup off the children's tables at schools, and Mary McGrory saw this and said, look at Schweiker, he's our czar of human welfare, and look at him in his white tie. Well, that went all over the country. And we were in like 455 newspapers, and of course Schweiker was put down by President Reagan, and until this day, I mean, they're very upset by it.
You would think that Sunny would be overwhelmed with all the glitter and fanfare that takes place among Washington's happy few. But there are parts of her job she loves, and then there are the parts that have just become routine.
The thing that happened is that I'm not impressed. That's the part that's happened to us over the period of 9 years. We're not impressed with anyone. I go into the White House and it's ho-hum. You know, oh, nice. I'm not impressed with any of it. But I do feel that we've met so many of the greats of the world that I'm not impressed with many. I was impressed with Sadat and Mrs. Sadat, but not many people.